This episode of the Folding Towels podcast is brought to you by Hygiene Australia. Did you know that oil retention in towels isn't just gross but can be a fire hazard? Hygiene Australia have worked with the health and wellness industry to develop cleaners and laundry products that are guaranteed to remove oil residues from your towels so that they feel and smell clean, last longer and reduce your risk of laundry fires. Listeners can get 15% off their next order when they visit hygieneaustralia.com.au and use the code 15OFF-FOLDING-TOWELS. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Folding Towels podcast with Jackie and David. Hello, Jackie.
Hi, David. How are you this morning? How you going?
I'm a lot better than I have been. I had a cold the other week and it wasn't much fun. Yeah.
You had the man flu.
I did have the man flu. It's like childbirth. That's what a man flu is like. I can hear someone reaching down the airwaves trying to strangle me right now.
We are making a little joke.
Yes. No, it was really frustrating because I had to take some time off work and, you know, self-employed, all those sort of things. It costs money to take time off, but it's the right thing to do. And do you know what the reward was when I came back to work?
What was it?
2 cancellations and a no-show.
Yes. Of course.
Yes, the 2 people who cancelled were sick too, and they've done the right thing. It's easy to
That's
take it
really
personally.
good though, David. That's great that they are actually unwell and saying, hey, look, I need to postpone. I need to come in today.
Because there was a sick person coming into my clinic who may be sick. I think it's just hay fever.
Yeah.
That old chestnut.
Well, we're glad that you're better.
Yeah.
And you're here with us.
1,000 massage therapists nodding in agreement right now.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, having to take a day off work. Oh, the hell that is that landscape.
It's the people who come in and make us sick. So that one person who came in unwell cost about $1,500 in lost revenue.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's the cost of one person not cancelling. How are you, Jackie?
I'm feeling very, very sad for you right now, David. But I've been in that situation too, so I feel sad for everybody when it happens.
Yeah.
I'm good though, thank you. I'm pretty good. I'm just plodding along, doing the things, and yeah. Last week's episode, we mentioned very terribly that we were in like quarter 1, quarter 2 for the year. It's actually quarter 4. We're towards the end of the Australian financial year, which is different to the Australian calendar or the calendar year. Yeah. So we are in quarter 4. We have got our shit together and checked the calendars, everybody.
Yeah. I'm astounded though that everywhere in the world has a different financial year, and some do run to the calendar, and some their financial year ends in March, and it's just
that seems very random. March, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just weird. I don't
just
get
pluck a day out of thin air and just go with that one.
I think for those people, it ends because they didn't want to end it at Christmas time. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, that makes sense. Could you imagine having to deal with Christmas and doing your tax?
Yeah. Well, for those businesses,
my head
they have a few days off for Christmas, but they don't close down like we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have summer breaks because they're in winter at Christmas time.
Yeah, other side of the world.
It's like the US where they only get 2 weeks of annual leave a year.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, today we are actually talking about sort of some of this stuff. We're talking about going from paid employment to being self-employed.
Yeah.
And planning that out. So kind of related.
It's a nice segue, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you're in manufacturing, or maybe you've got an office job, or you're working in retail, for example, and you want to make the jump into working for yourself, or maybe you are working in the allied health sector in a clinic working for somebody else. and you're ready to make the transition to working for yourself. So I want to give a shout out to Tabitha and Renee, who are listeners of ours and who in the last few months have transitioned from clinic work to working for themselves. It is a big leap of faith. Good on you. And I caught up with Tabitha last night, and things are going really well for her. Really, really well. And we've talked about quality of life, and that really excites me. So good on you.
It's so wonderful when you see people coming along and really making a go of it and doing well. I love
Hmm.
that.
I love small businesses. I love the passion that individuals bring. I
Yeah.
appreciate the risk that business owners take. And if you work for yourself, you are now a business owner. Business doesn't have to be a multi-million dollar global um, stock exchange listed company. You are in business if you're working for yourself and deriving an income from it. And that's really exciting.
It is. It sure is. We actually had several people request this topic because this is such a huge thing that does happen in our industry. People going from often being self-employed in either retail or, some other industry, like you said, and then they're not happy with that for whatever reason. They want to branch out on their own and
Yeah.
and perhaps live this dream that they might have had for a decade or more.
Mm,
And yeah, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, what do I do?" There's a lot. It's
yeah.
a huge leap to go from that
Yeah.
to being fully responsible.
Yeah, so we'll get into the how a little bit later, but we've both shared our stories. I've left a government job with a government salary, full-time permanent employment, a regular wage with sick leave. So in Australia, we get 10 days full-time equivalent sick leave per year. With paid leave, with leave loading, you get an extra 17.5% extra pay just to take a holiday. Long service
No.
leave accrued, superannuation, workers' compensation if you get injured at work. You've got colleagues around you and a support network. Everything is done for you. You kind of specialize in just a few little things, not having to rely on everything, and leaving what could be your identity and your purpose in life as well. So it is a massive leap, whether you're leaving a clinic or you're leaving any other form of work to go to work for yourself.
Oh, that's a lot, David. When you
Yeah.
lay it all out like that,
So
that
you can
is really a lot.
understand that it is a big process to process that information. And you can understand the fear that people have in making that jump.
I remember when I left my middle management retail job, I was a salaried employee, which was nice. I didn't like where I worked though, really. And even that, even though I hated where I worked and I didn't want to, I kept thinking my thought process was, what do I want to retire from? Like not what do I want to do right now, but where do I want to be when I'm like 60, 70 years old and retiring?
Mm,
What does that look like? And
yeah,
I knew that I couldn't stay there. I knew that if I just kept on working in that job, it would kill me
yeah,
emotionally.
yeah.
And I had to take the leap.
Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah, I fell
it's
out of love with my employer as well. At that point where I
mm,
was selling my soul and
yeah,
just couldn't wake up in the morning and do it anymore.
yeah, yeah.
Mm. That and I think I got bored.
Ah,
Yeah, so perhaps you're a subcontractor and you're earning 50% of the fee, or you might work in a clinic that is a bit more generous. Because as a contractor, it's easy to see the dollars that could be going into your pocket, especially if you're working really stupid hours and not making much money. Or if you are an employee and you're currently hopefully you are a bona fide employee, employed under a modern award for a medial massage in Australia, that's the Health and Support Services Award, and you're being paid a casual rate with the appropriate penalties for after hours and weekend work, or you're permanent full time or permanent part time at the appropriate salary for your experience. And if you're not, your employer is either ignorant or really dodgy.
That in itself is a whole nother conversation, which we are not going to get into today because it is quite a long and involved conversation. So
Mm,
please bear with us
yeah.
for some of that stuff.
Yeah. So
That is coming.
why might you want to transition to working for yourself?
Ah, it well for me, David, it was always my dream to be self-employed. Like I had always wanted to. So I know
Mm,
that's a big one for a lot of people. They might have this idea, and it might not necessarily even be massage. You know, you see a lot of little businesses that are like a bakery or a cafe or something of that nature, and people making handmade artisan things, earrings or
mm,
necklaces, or
yeah,
I don't know what else. Like if you go to any summer markets and things like that, you see those exact things that people
yeah,
have these dreams and that passion.
yeah,
So I think that is like a really big driver for a lot of people, in
mm,
my opinion.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, for me, it was around flexibility, happiness,
Yeah.
and yeah, I was being held to my position by the golden handcuffs. Like we have a mortgage, we've got a 3-year-old child, and we've got a baby. Like I've got to be an adult and be responsible and provide for my family. You know what? You might actually not wake up tomorrow because this job is killing you.
Yeah, I
Mm,
know for a lot of massage therapists, that flexibility of working hours, of being
yeah.
able to work around school pickup or kids' sport or your partner's job as well, because
Mm,
not everybody works 9 to 5.
yeah.
That and having that control over your life and your diary is a
Mm,
really big factor if you are completely self-employed.
yeah.
Because if you only want to work Sundays and Mondays,
Mm-hmm.
you can.
Yep.
Like that's a thing you can do.
And I guess before we get into too much detail, as a massage therapist, you don't have to work in massage as your full-time job. You can just do it on the side. You can work the hours that you want to work. And if you have other work, that is completely fine. No judgment on you if massage isn't your full-time gig, because you'll probably stay in the industry for a lot longer if you're not trying to work full hours.
That is such a great point. I 100% agree.
Says both people who are working full-time hours in the massage industry and going, my body hurts all the time.
That's why I agree, David. My shoulders ache all the time, like every day. But that was honestly one of the things that I really loved about transitioning into massage. And I admit I didn't really transition. I kind of flung myself into massage, but I went on maternity leave and went to massage school and just never went back to my job. And so I've flung myself in there, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to make it, well, it's massage or nothing. It's
Mm,
massage or bust. You can
yeah,
stay working and have those really small ambitions. Like you might have one weeknight where you see one or two clients after work, or
mm,
then maybe on a Saturday or a Sunday, once or twice a month, you see two or three clients, and then you just gradually build up so
yeah,
that, yeah, at some point, every Saturday you've got three clients
yeah,
and you've gradually transitioned from having one client a month to 10 a month.
yeah. And that's how I started my business, exactly that way. Is that
That's right, you did. Yeah, because I was one of your clients,
you
David.
were.
I
You
forgot about that.
came and saw me on a weeknight, and
Yep,
I would massage for 1 or 2 hours on a Tuesday and a Thursday evening, and I
yep.
still do 1 or 2 hours on a Tuesday and a Thursday evening. Then I started knocking off a little bit early from work, so I'd start early at my day job, and I'd rush home to do a 4:30 appointment, and then I'd see a couple of people on a Saturday, and I still do work Saturdays. And the day that I pulled the pin from my salaried job, I was consistently seeing 15 people a week.
Wow, that's a lot, David.
Mm,
Yeah, that's great.
yeah. So I have to say, it was really nice to have a full-time income and an additional 50 massages in a week and get the money
Uh,
in for that. Um, but yes,
that's not really
massaging,
sustainable long
no, it's
term,
not.
though.
No,
That's a lot.
but by doing those 15 in a week, it didn't start that way. It started as like 2 or 3 hours and it built up to say 5 hours. And that money
Yeah,
paid for, first of all, finishing my education, and then paid for a lot of my startup costs as I
yeah,
set up my systems and structures. And we're going into that because to get ready to leave a salaried position, you need to have a plan. It
yeah,
doesn't have to be
definitely.
elaborate, but you need to have a plan.
Definitely. I think having an end goal for, even if this changes, but having an end goal for when you actually want to leave your full-time job,
Mm,
or you might even be transitioning from a full-time role to a part-time role because some jobs do allow that. They will allow you to change the direction of your employment slightly.
mm,
But you definitely need that plan
yeah,
and to be able to figure out what that is you want to do. When are you going to finish your massage qualification?
yeah,
If you're doing the diploma, what's that timeline look like? And how does that fit in with your employment?
yeah.
Um,
Where are you going
so
to
many
work from?
factors. That's another big one.
I want to give a shout out to Alicia Crook, and the Health
Health
Leader
Leader Co.
Co. Because it was back
Hi,
in
Alicia.
yeah, hey Alicia and James and Christine, because it was back in 2015, I think it was, when Alicia landed in my paid Facebook ads as I was casually browsing. And she was launching a program called Fully Booked Without Burnout. And I connected through her lead generation. And we had a conversation over the phone because we were talking about the fear of leaving a salaried position. And so, yeah, you're going into business. Where's the certainty in that? What you're doing is like jumping out of a plane, but we're going to put in place all the things that you need to do to get your business running successfully. And that was setting up things like your why and your purpose and your mission statement, and a little bit of a business plan, and getting your marketing ready and getting your systems and structures in place. And so what we're doing is when you jump out of that plane, you've done some training. You know how to land on the ground when you get to the ground, but more importantly, you're also wearing the parachute. So
Yeah.
you know that when you jump out the plane, at some point you need to pull the ripcord and the parachute will deploy, but something will go wrong. So you have to get rid of that parachute and pull the ripcord on the secondary one because you've got a backup. And then when you
Yes.
eventually get to the ground, you know that you need to tuck and roll and you'll land safely. And when you do that, you're going to go, wow, what a rush it was. And I'm still alive. Starting the business
Every
wasn't
single
as scary as it could have been.
every single person with a fear of heights right now is just cringing.
Yeah.
That is honestly a really good analogy, though. That does make sense. I'm one of those people with the fear of heights, so that's
Yeah.
why I said that. I'm sorry.
If you have no business skills and running a business just seems overwhelming, paying for support could be one of your first steps.
Yeah, definitely. It helps to have somebody to bounce ideas off and go, oh, hey, look, your next step might be XYZ. Um, okay, you've got your Facebook set up. Now let's do your Instagram. Now let's get you set up on TikTok. Let's get a plan in place for social media.
A
It could be
booking
something as
system.
simple as that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Booking system might be slightly more important than social media, but you know what I mean, David. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Learn how to manage your money and all those things.
Yeah. Well, while you're not as busy, while you're not fully booked, that is the perfect time to get your system set up. And this goes for anybody. It doesn't have to be a new business. Set up your email, your booking system. How are people actually going to be contacting you? How do you want them to actually contact you and book in those appointments? And if people do send you either a text message or an email, what are your responses going to be? Do you even know when you want to be open? Are you only working 2 evenings a week? Do you only do Saturdays? You need to have your hours, your calendar ready. Who are the clients that you want to see? What do you
Yeah.
actually want to do?
So if you go back to our archives of the Folding Towel podcast, you can find episodes already on many of these topics.
You can. You
Subtle,
can.
subtle plug.
Honestly, the niching one that we did, that was a really good one, I thought.
Yeah.
I think because a lot of people find that really tricky. Well, who do I want to work with? I don't know. Like,
Everyone.
it's a hard one.
No, you
Yeah,
don't
no,
want to work with everyone.
it's not everyone. It's definitely not.
Yeah. And then having a little bit of a think about your personality archetype as well, and working with Alicia on this. And I worked in a policy and a planning background. I'm very detail focused, and she's saying, David, at some point, you're just going to have to get started. If you want to do this, you actually have to do some doing. Because you can stress, and I did stress about a lot of detail. You can stress about the detail, and you'll
Yeah,
never get things 100% perfect. There's probably some really nice analogies around that, and you can find them as memes on Instagram or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
If you're searching for perfection in trying to launch your business, you are never going to get there.
Absolutely true.
Talking to your employer is scary, and getting ready to leave is scary. And I'd had conversations with my manager about, look, the time is coming up. Look, how can I make this transition as smooth for you? She's like, I don't want to lose you. The employer had changed somewhat, and I worked very long hours, and I wasn't at home, and I had a newborn, and all those things. It's like this is my ambition: is that I want to spend more time with my family. So I don't want to lose you, but I understand. And so we started to plan the transition together, because I strongly believe in, if you are leaving an employer for any reason, whether it's just for a change of scenery or a change of challenge, that you should leave with a good reference. And part of the safety net of leaving is, like, when you go with a good reference, you can always come back. I didn't want to burn the boat. And people talk about, when you jump into business, you got to burn the boats, and you just got to be in there all out, all in, and not back out. Well, what if I got 12 months into this gig and I had a change of heart or a change of plan, or I got injured, or what have you? Being able to go back to something is important. And more importantly, it may not even be going back, it's going somewhere else and saying, I need a reference. It's
That's
really
a really good
important.
point, David. Yeah, that's such a great point that if you can leave on good terms, there will be some instances where you can't.
Mm,
But if you can, it really can be in your best interest to try and make the transition a nice experience.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
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 No.
So that's part of that planning process. Is at some point in time you're going to have to pull the pin and just make it
Yeah.
happen. And that could be talking to your employer about, hey, I want to work 2 days a week for myself. Can I scale back my hours with you?
Yeah. I think in the post-COVID world, there can be a little bit more flexibility with that sort of stuff. Um, and even if you're working from home, you might be able to, like you said, start a bit earlier in the morning so that you can finish earlier, so that you can see two or three clients in the evening after work and not be working till 11 p.m. at night. Um, yeah, hopefully a lot more people have that flexibility. I would hope so anyway.
Mm,
I don't know about the reality of that, but who knows?
yeah. So how long did it take you to build up your client list to be fully booked.
Yes,
And what is
David.
fully booked for you?
That is how long is a piece of string question.
What is fully booked for you?
Fully booked for me is when I either can't get any more people, any more appointments into my calendar, or I am, and this is not a good thing for me to say, but I'm so exhausted that I'm happy when people cancel.
Mm,
Um, Yeah, my time management at the moment is crazy because of various things. All of the things that I'm doing adds up to not just work, but adds up to I am not probably looking after myself properly, which I did mention at the beginning of the year and is still correct. I'm sorry. I'm trying. Um, But that's like honestly, David, that's going to change. And I see those questions about, the Facebook group. How long does it take to build up a client list? Like when will you be fully booked from the newbies? And
mm,
I'm just like, there is no answer to that question
yeah.
because for me personally, my business has changed so much over the 12 years that I've been self-employed. You start off slow, it's fine and you build up clients, but I don't see any of those clients still. I don't have a single client that I see now that I started with 12 years ago. And one of the reasons for that is that life throws you curveballs, things that you weren't expecting. When I had my 8-year-old, and I think I've said this story before, I was only planning on actually having like 2 months off work,
Mm,
and then just gradually easing back in to work with one or two clients a week, having my regulars come back in, and just slowly graduating back into going to work and building up over a couple of months. Well, it just never ended up happening because she was a koala bear and literally would not leave me alone and was a terrible sleeper and cried all the time if she wasn't attached to me and was just a very clingy child. And there was nothing wrong with that. She's a fantastic kid, and I'm not trying to say that that was a bad thing because it wasn't, because I knew that she was my last baby and I was not going to have any more children. And I really lent into that, and I loved spending time with her and having those beautiful cuddles. But I actually ended up having 9 months completely off work where I didn't really work at all for 9 months. And that means admin stuff as well. I did very little admin stuff. And I basically had to restart my business from scratch because
mm,
I had so much time off work.
yeah.
Yeah. So that happens sometimes. People get sick. A parent dies.
Yeah.
You might have an injury, you might break a leg or something. Like I think for a lot of massage therapists, actually having a physical disability for a while or
Yeah.
permanently, like a broken leg or a broken arm, is one of our biggest fears.
Yeah. I fell off my bike and broke a wrist.
Yeah.
And I broke a rib in the swimming pool.
Oh my gosh, David, what on earth are you doing in a swimming pool to break a rib?
Getting out.
Oh,
So
they often have
unglorious.
stairs, right?
And that is what I should have done. I was doing the ego thing of hauling myself out of the pool like an Olympian would
Oh,
do. And I
oh,
put my hand on the
bless.
slippery patch and my hand slipped and I fell on my rib cage and I broke 3 ribs.
Oh my gosh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah,
Oh,
massaging for, I think it was 16 weeks before it stopped hurting.
oh wow. Yeah. Yeah. A broken bone is honestly a big fear of mine that I will be incapacitated because I'm the breadwinner in the family, so to speak, air quotes, breadwinner.
Hmm.
And I work a lot and having to reschedule my life
Yeah,
is a huge fear I have.
yeah. But it's one of the
Yeah.
things you need to plan for when you are going out on your own is that what if. And what ifs can happen for all number of reasons, as you've already talked about. That an elder getting sick, uh, or your partner, or yeah, you fall off your
Anyone,
bike like
yeah.
an idiot.
Like David.
Life things happen, and if those life
Yeah.
things happen, what are you going to do about it? And this is where having a financial buffer
is really important. So before you pull the pin on your employment, you've worked up some funds and you put them into a savings account that first of all, you've got money that's available to start up your business. You've got money available so that in those first few weeks when things are quieter compared to when you are fully booked, you can still afford to eat and pay your mortgage. And if something happens to you or someone else and you need to take time off work, you can still afford to pay your bills and keep on living.
Honestly, having those things set up is going to change your life. And I know there's a lot of massage therapists listening to this and out there in Australia going, I haven't paid myself any sick leave or any super for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Like it's a thing that is so common in our industry that we give and we give and we give to everyone else, and we
Yeah.
forget to set up the financial things that are
Yeah.
really actually going to help us.
The
So
hungry
this is a
healer
big one.
syndrome.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Something happens to us and who feeds us?
Yeah.
That's- I had a financial buffer starting my business. So I left my employer. I got a payout, not a great payout, but it was like the balance of my recreation
Mm-hmm.
leave and some long service. And it's
Yeah.
like, yes, I've got my financial buffer and this is great, but the universe likes to talk differently. And I think it was in the first 3 months, this massive chunk of money has just disappeared from my bank account. I'm like, what just happened? And I had a car loan, and the car loan had a balloon at the end. And I thought my car loan was for 5 years, except it turns out my car loan was only for 4 years. And they just took the
Um,
balloon out. And so I think that's like $7,000 just disappeared from my bank account one day. I went, oh no. And then I've gone to the dentist. I hadn't been to the dentist for a little while. And he's taken his x-rays. He's like, yeah, and you need a root canal. I'm like, oh no.
oh my gosh.
The the
Seven
fortunate
grand. That's a lot.
the fortunate side of things is that money was in the bank account and I didn't have to mortgage the house or take it from other expenses or have the bank foreclose on me or something. The money was there.
Yeah.
I just would have liked it to have stayed there.
Stayed there. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's a lot. That's a shock when you open your
Yeah.
bank account and you're like, that was a bit higher yesterday. What happened?
And even now, I have a rainy day account, and I suggest we are not financial advisors. Disclaimer. Um, this is not
We're
financial
definitely
advice.
not.
It kind
Yeah.
of is. I do recommend having a rainy day account that you contribute to on a regular basis. Because in March 2020, when we all had to close our doors for an extended period of time, having a rainy day account meant that I could keep paying myself for a while before
Yeah.
government subsidies kicked in, and it was a very expensive and frightening time, but there was money there. And over the course of those COVID years, my rainy day account got very close to zero. Um, but we stayed open. I could continue to pay my employees and meet all my expenses, and I'm in the process of rebuilding that now.
Look, honestly, even putting a couple of dollars out of every single massage that you do every time you get paid into a bank account, even if it is literally only $2 or $3 every single time, is going to make a difference. And
Hmm.
then you really should, and when I say you, I'm including myself in this. We should be paying some super, and that has increased in Australia as well. So do check what the rate is now, because if you haven't looked at your superannuation for a long time, you should be paying yourself, I think it's 10.5% currently,
I think it's
and it's going up
11.
to 11 maybe, or it either
I
has
think
or
it's
it
11
is about
already.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there have been changes to super. And then you've got to pay tax as well if you're earning
Mm.
over a certain amount. Um, and as you said, a little bit for emergencies and some
Yeah.
savings.
I started
Even,
my first business in 2002,
mm,
doing some consulting work. And back then, the GST threshold was $40,000 per annum. So I was budgeting for my GST, and that was great. And I've gone to do my personal tax at the end of the year, and I've been given my tax bill by the accountant, and it was eight. $10,000 or something. And I've gone, what the? He says, you have been budgeting for tax, haven't you? Your personal income tax. Like, but I pay GST. No, that's goods and services tax. This is your personal income tax. I'm like,
Oh no.
so for the next 12 months, I was on a payment plan with the ATO.
That's a huge amount of money to owe, David, though. That's a lot, especially when you were expecting it to be zero. Crazy.
So I now have my separate bank account where I put aside my personal income tax and my GST and my superannuation. They all go away every
Yep.
week diligently because I will never be in that position again. And
You learned from that mistake.
I know that I'm not alone in that mistake.
Yes, we're not talking about my tax at all, okay? Like I'm not even bringing it up, not a bit. And yeah, guys, we are not financial advisors. We have just had experiences and we don't want you to have the same experiences. So, look, you have to
Even
start somewhere. You really
even if you
do.
don't have an accountant, get friendly with a bookkeeper. Bookkeeping is one of those things that can take away a lot of your time and your soul. And bookkeepers are significantly cheaper than an accountant, but they'll
Yeah.
often give you really good money advice um, around those goals and help you to plan to avoid surprises.
They can advise on programs to use as well and the
Yeah.
best way to actually like manage those money things. If you need to use, accounting software like MyOb or Zero, they can explain all those differences. Because if you're like me and you are not financially literate, really, like even just figuring out, oh God, which one do I use can take you months. So, yeah, speaking to someone about that knows more than you do is honestly the best advice we can give.
It is worth paying for good software too. And so many therapists that we speak to, and you see it in the forums frequently about how expensive all the things are. And I started my bookkeeping for the business just using a spreadsheet back when things were simple. Then when it got a little bit more complicated, I switched across to a program called Sage Accounting. And I thought I was really grown up using that. And I'd put aside probably a full day every month to do my bookkeeping. And it would just suck my soul. And it was so difficult to use. It was not intuitive at all. And eventually the bookkeeper's like, David, you've got to use Zero. You've just use Zero. It's like, but Sage is only $20 a month and Zero is going to cost me 45. It's like, and how long did it take you to do your bookkeeping? About
Mhm.
about a full day. Put a dollar value on your day. All right.
Yeah.
You could have done in minutes what in Zero, what took you a full
Yeah.
day in Sage. And that's probably the best advice I was ever given.
That is something that people underestimate in the beginning. You're like, I can do it all myself. And you might only have 20 clients a month. Like you might not have a lot. So you think, oh, the other things aren't going to take a lot of time. But honestly, it can be really worth it to pay
Yeah.
for someone else to do it for you, if that's possible, or to pay for that really good software for various things. And client notes and the booking programs that we use, the client management systems that we use, those are included in that statement as well.
Yeah.
Because if you have a really great client services system, what do you call them? Client
The
record manager.
CMS client
Yeah,
management system or practice
yeah,
management system.
that can save you
Yeah.
so much time if you
Yeah.
have a really good one of those from the start.
Yeah. And something like a Clinico or a Power Diary or a Splows, just to name a few, often come with a money management system built into it, like a basic bookkeeping system, where you're already taking account of your fees through those practice management systems. There's usually another area where you can put your expenses too. And if that's all you're doing, that is enough. Or even using a paper-based ledger, if you are diligent with your keeping, it is enough. You can translate that across to an Excel spreadsheet or Google Sheets or whatever that is enough, provided you are diligent with it and keep on top of it from the start. And you've got a record, you can then give that to the accountant or the bookkeeper. That is enough. But using softwares, they do make life so much easier.
I think the takeaway from this is really to do some goal setting, have a
Mm.
plan, be flexible with that because things might need to change. Um, but yeah, having that goal and working out where you want to be in either 12 months or 2 years or after you've finished your diploma and are actually qualified, and then 12 months on from that. I think that's really, really the most important thing.
Mm.
There's so many things that we've talked about today. So I apologize if we've overwhelmed you. That was not our intention,
I
but there's
just
a lot to talk about.
I just want to finish with one more. This is not money advice, but it's money advice. And that's just being careful about what you do spend your money on, because it's really easy to get trapped and say, I've got my business number now, so I can go to Optus or Telstra or whatever your telco is, and I can get a plan. And in that plan, I can get the latest iPhone, I can get an iPad, I can bundle that with my home internet, I can put it's all a business expense. Well, that all comes off your bottom line. That comes off, it minimizes your profit when you do those things. And when you find out that you're paying to Telstra or to Optus or Vodafone or whoever your carrier is, you're paying them $150 a month. And you find out that you're just using your phone and your iPad to watch YouTube reels or Facebook reels. Do you really need those devices? Or could you get away with a
Yeah,
secondhand phone or a base model
definitely.
and
You you
be
can
paying $20 a month?
absolutely you can absolutely start slow
Mm.
and have all that written down on paper or on your spreadsheet and go, okay, this month I'm going to implement this one thing. And then next month I'm going to implement that other thing so that you're not spending too much money all at once. That's
Yeah.
probably really great advice, David.
Yeah. And with that having the plan of writing things down, just doing one things a month, it's also saving your brain space, because setting up a business properly from the start is overwhelming. And we've got an episode on writing policies. We've got an episode on doing Facebook. We've got an episode on nailing your niche. And all of those things, when you try to put them together and do them all at once, it is overwhelming. And chances are you won't get started. Pick one thing, do that.
Yeah, it takes years to build a business.
Yeah.
Honestly, years. I don't care what anyone says. Some people are like, oh, you'll just get clients word of mouth, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, it
Mm,
takes years. It does.
yeah.
Yeah. Overnight success doesn't happen
No,
overnight.
it
It
does
takes
not.
decades.
Yeah.
So yeah, and honestly, go easy on yourself as well. You can always make changes. You don't have to stick to any of these plans if it's not working. You can do whatever you need to do that works for you and your family. So
Yeah.
don't lock yourself into something that you're not enjoying.
Yeah. And in that go easy on yourself, it's really easy to compare yourself to where others are and where you aren't. And you're all on your own journey separately. There are those people who'll open their doors and be fully booked within 2 weeks. They are unicorns. That's not normal.
It's not, honestly, it's not. Yeah. Don't judge yourself too harshly, guys.
Yeah.
You're doing great. You're
Yeah.
doing great. Go out and celebrate how far you've already come.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
just in closing, I guess, in talking with Tabitha, as we mentioned at the start of the episode, and she's saying, look, I'm able to prepare meals and they're delicious because I've got time at home, and my laundry, I'm able to do that throughout the day instead of having to come home from the clinic, and I've got 20 towels that all need to be washed tonight so that I can go back to work tomorrow. Like those little things around quality of life, they're worth a lot.
Indeed. That's what makes it for a lot of us, those little
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be nice to have quality of
David.
life with $100 million as well.
Look, if anybody wants to actually give me a couple of million, I will happily accept it.
Bank account details in the bio.
Oh gosh. Once again, we have talked about all the things and probably meandered all over the place. So, yeah, hopefully you have followed us along today. Thank you for listening, everybody. We have loved having you again. We love talking to you. And David, love chatting with you.
Yeah, so if you've listened to today's episode, and we've been quite general about things, if there's something specific that you'd like us to answer, send us an email, head to our website, foldingtowerspodcast.com.au, find us on Facebook at Folding Towers Podcast, or on Instagram, look for us there, send us a DM. We would love to hear from you. We're bringing you the content that you want and answering the questions that no one else has answered. And we just love chatting with you. It's exciting.
We do. We love hearing from you. So please do send us a message and say hi and let us know what you are interested in hearing about. Thanks, David, for chatting.
It's been a great day today, Jackie.
It has.
See you
next time. Bye.
Bye.